Okay, folks, this is a screencast. You're watching it, what is it, Thursday, and so I'm out. But this will give you an idea what to do. Should give you a good practice at this whole three-point editing concept and creating effective cutaways. And then two more steps you're going to learn, because I want to see your video now. I don't want to see a screenshot of your timeline. I want to see actually what you created. And so I have to go through a couple things that way, how to turn it in, and then I thought of something else because it's really older video that you're editing today, and you're going to have to learn about this concept called rendering. So you have a handout in front of either now or he's going to give it to you after the screencast. Yeah, let's probably do it like that. I'd like you to watch the screencast first, and then when you're done asking for the handout, that's how I'm going to explain it to him. And then you can follow the steps in the handout. Okay, but if you have to refer back to the screencast when it's time to export and turn this in, then you can. But here's the idea. All right, first of all, you got to go to File and make a new project. Okay, you're using canned footage from me, but it's cool. You still have a little bit more flexibility or some different clips you can pick from. So the other tab for the Jimbo Talking Head, I'm leaving it open for now because I'm not doing this assignment that you are, but I need to use that to illustrate how to turn something in. So anyway, take your new project and save the project as, I'm trying to think back to my directions. I think I have you called it Jimbo Parody. We all know what a parody is, right? We're making fun of something. And then for the sequence, I think I had you call it the same thing, Jimbo Parody. Okay, but now I need to know where to go and get the clips. So, like always, if you peel back this canvas, you can open up your hard drive and go to Media. And there's a new folder in town, folks. We haven't used it yet, but it's called Hairy Media. So, if you dig in there, yuck, this is this is a bad deal. I got icons all over the place. I'm going to switch to List View because it's a lot cleaner. And you may have to scroll to the top of List View, but there's a folder called Cutaways, Assignment, Stuff. And just drag that into your browser and you'll have all the stuff you need. All right, pay no attention, by the way, to how old this video is. It was shot with a camera from a long time ago, but yet I didn't want to shoot it again with high-def stuff. It works, and I like simple, so we're going to go with it. But anyhow, let me illustrate what happens when you put together some of these clips in the timeline, right? It plays along with the boy who talks about he's been surfing since he was 5 years old and that kind of thing. So in the interview, right, I give you these on the little handout, but I want to show you what happens when you go to put in one of these old clips into the timeline. You're going to be seeing red, literally. So the first clip I can do, because it's going to be the same one you're doing. Let me just look at what they're called. Carry laptop. My name is Clean Screen, double click teaching, make sure good teaching sense. Okay, so the first clip is me. I look a lot younger back then. I think it's from like 2005, 6, I don't even know, but had a lot more hair, looked healthier, I'll tell you that. Anyway, when you play it back, it sounds something like this.
My name.
All right, so you're gonna mark in an endpoint, sorry.
My name is Mr. Harry, and I've been teaching since I was 23 years old.
That's a fact. I've been doing this a long time. Did you guys know this is my 29th year of teaching? My 29th opener. Okay, so anyhow, I will give you these in the handout where your ins and outs are, blah, blah, blah. But I want to illustrate what happens when you do an overwrite, okay? See that red render bar? Okay, that means you cannot play it back without rendering it first. What's rendering? Rendering is making it suitable for playback because the settings in the timeline don't match the settings from your camera. They can't. This is an old cam. So to get it to playback, if you play it back without rendering, all you're going to hear is beep, 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 and video may or may not show. Mine is showing, but in some instances, most instances, it turns out as like a blue unrendered. But anyhow, here's the fix. Click your video, which also selects the audio, and then a keyboard shortcut for rendering. It's Command R. Makes sense, right? Render R. If you really want to use the mouse, you can go up to a menu. I believe it's the sequence menu. You can choose render selection. You can choose render all. There's a lot to pick from in here. Want the shortcut? Do it with me. Command R. Boom. You may have to do that. Anytime you can see red, especially if you're adding cutaways later, you're likely going to have to render it again. All right, but now when you play it,
My name is.
you don't hear the beeps. Okay, that's part one. Follow the sheet. It'll give you which clips to use for the talking head part. After that, you'll be jumping into the cutaways bin, and I give you suggestions for making cutaways. You can use what you want. All right, you have freedom to use any of the clips, really any content in those clips, but most of the clips are shot with relevance, so the cutaway matches what I described, but you have a little bit of freedom as far as what frames to use. All right, that is all explained in the handout. The talking head, which clip goes where, the cutaways, which cutaway to use to cover up the various jump cuts. Okay, can we fast forward 1 second to how do I turn my video in? All right, well, first of all, I'm going to demonstrate it with one of the existing sequences that I have, okay? And in the sake of time, I'm going to do it really quickly. All right, I'm going to take and eliminate most of these clips, okay, because it'll export quicker if I don't have all of that riffraff. So, all right, in order to upload this so I can see it, okay, you have to create what's called an export. A Final Cut file I cannot view. All right, it's a long story. But what you need to know is how to export it correctly so then you could go to step 2. Wow, I look like Jimbo, or Jim. Yellow shirt, probably where it stops though. All right, I digress. After you export it, it'll show up wherever you tell it to, and then you have to learn how to attach that to your assignment in Google Classroom. So you're bouncing back between a couple things today: a Screencast, Final Cut Express, a handout, and of course Google Classroom, so I can see your excellent work. So anyhow, to turn it in, step 1, make sure your timeline is active. If it's not, if you click your viewer, you're going to export one clip, and that's not going to cut it. So step 1, I always do this: bring my playhead back to the beginning of my sequence. Make sure you don't have any random in or out points marked in your sequence like that in our timeline, because it'll only export that little section. Remember how to clear ins and outs at the same time? Thank you, Option X. All right, so timeline is clear of any in or out points. Good tip, do Shift Z so you can see all your clips. Then you won't miss an existing in or out point that you may not have seen. Bring playhead back to the beginning. Go to File, choose Export, and choose QuickTime Movie. Okay? Now, vital, you must put this in a place that you can remember. So if you want to put it in your projects folder, that's fine. If you want to put it on your desktop for now, that's fine. If you want to be super prepared for the rest of the year, put it on your desktop, create a new folder, and call the folder Exports, because guess what? This isn't the only time you're going to be doing this, okay? So I created a new folder on my desktop, and it's kind of wigging out here now. Let me do it. So I might even have a folder out there called Exports already. It's just not telling me. Yeah, I already have that folder, but you guys can create one. And then give it a name. What do you want to call it? Really doesn't matter. I mean, we'll be Jim Boylan. You could call this Jimbo Parody. Okay. You can use the word export by it if you want. Okay, but take note. Where's it going? I put mine in my newly created exports folder. Okay, boom. Mine will go quickly. Yours will not, because you have a few more frames that have to be converted. All right, so now you're finished with your video. You sequenced everything. You did these magical cutaways. You exported it. How do you turn it in? Okay. Let me do a couple things here. I'm going to put back what I had taken out before, at least that much. Okay. All right, here's how you turn it in. All right. Where is my folder that I exported that to? It's on my desktop. It's called Exports, okay? And if I look in there, I have a lot of exports, but one of them is the Jimbo Parody. All right, can you remember that? Because now I'm in Google Classroom. I'm in Google Classroom as a student, right? I threw my own student account into our classroom so that I could illustrate how to do this kind of thing. So notice there's an assignment posted, right? And you guys will see this tomorrow. I'm editing this today, which is the 12th. Okay, so anyhow, we click the assignment, okay? And then I want to go to Add. Okay, now I haven't uploaded it to Google Drive. You really don't need to. You can go to File and upload it on the fly. Right, so if you go to File and you understand how your hard drive is structured, you can go get it, right? Select files from the computer, or you can drag them here. So whatever you're more comfortable doing, since I browsed out to it in the Finder, I can see it over here. I can drag the export from here to here. I can click on upload, and it will upload this. Mine will go quicker because remember I just gave you a little snippet, not the full Monty. And I should be able to mark as done. There we go. Ready? Wonder what those deals mean. I better wait for those, eh? All right, so I guess it's not marked as done. That's kind of my cue that I'm ready to turn it in. So when I go to turn in, I'm going to submit this with a movie. And this is really cool because guess what? I'm sitting on a couch tomorrow. I will be able to look at your vids, and I'm really excited actually to see what you guys put together. So have some fun with it. Help each other out as needed. Mr. Duvall is my sub, great guy, and I'm sure if you asked him a question, he'd give you an honest effort trying to help you figure it out. He's just not, video editing teacher. So, all right, guys, I hope you had a great time, great day. Don't know what Friday's going to bring. Oh, I know what Friday's going to bring. Nothing. Don't you guys have Friday off, or am I way ahead of my time here? Oh, no, that's next week. Oh, wishful thinking. Sorry, I wrecked it. Okay, Friday brings something else, but I promise it'll be fun. At least it's fun for me. All right, have a good day.